if you've been on YouTube at all these past couple years, you've probably been seeing these videos talking about modern gaming sucks. They've gone super viral and more keep being made. So I started to think, does modern gaming really suck? Is what these people saying actually true? After spending a long time thinking about it, about 2 years now, since that's when they first started to pop up, I wanted to put my thoughts down on paper. Three reasons for this statement and three reasons against this statement. I believe in this video, I've summed up what most people's problems are with modern day gaming, while also looking at the other side of it and shining a light on the most positive parts of this era in gaming. I also think I talk about some other points that are pretty rarely mentioned on either side of this argument. This can be a pretty hot topic. So if you have any thoughts on this, let me know in the comments. I'd love to see what you think. Okay. So today's discussion is going to be modern gaming bad, or is it? So if you've been on the internet, or if you've been on YouTube, if you've ever watched YouTube gaming videos specifically, you have more likely than not seen videos talking about modern gaming so bad. Modern games suck. Games used to be better. What else? They don't make them like they used to. Type. And the statements have some validity to them. I will say there is a validity to these statements. However, I would like to pose alternative points or counterpoints to them, while also acknowledging the four statements. But first, let's get some definitions down. First of all, what is modern gaming? What is that? What even is that? I'm going to define it. There probably is a proper definition, but for my purposes of this discussion, I'm going to define it as any games released in the past 5 years. I think this is a fair time frame for just about any game, because of how much games can change and the technology used to make said games. I feel like this is a fair time frame to classify as modern. Second point, I'm going to be only focusing on PC and console games, not mobile. Oh, hold on. Yeah. See it? See it? Okay. Not mobile games. Why not mobile games? Because generally, most people don't consider it gaming. The generally held belief is that mobile games or playing mobile games does not make you a gamer. Now, this could be another discussion. Actually, I'm gonna write this down. We might have a discussion on this at some point in the future. All right, yeah, we'll discuss this in the future potentially. Anywho, so these are the two ideas. So when I'm talking about modern gaming, this is what I mean. Let me define something else. What is a triple A game? I feel like this is an important thing to also define. Like I said, while there might be a more definitive definition for the purpose of this discussion, I'm going to define it on my own terms. First, games that have a budget over $1 million. I feel like this is a good range. I feel like this is fair. Generally, games that fall a little bit below this, most large games, when people reference AAA games, are games that cost $50 million, $100 million, $500 million type stuff. So, you know, I feel like this is a fair range. Second, has a team of 100 plus people making the game, so developing the game, currently working on the game. If it's a live service game, you know, I feel like this is a fair. These 2 points really hone in on the types of games that I am talking about. Third point, has the ability to have a large marketing campaigns. Sorry for the typo. Again, I feel like this helps narrow it down. A game that a game that has over $1 million budget with 100 plus people working on it, and a super large marketing campaign, i.e. Call of Duty. I'm just starting to see Call of Duty ads. I'm starting to see Battlefield 6 ads at the time of streaming, at the time of recording. Battlefield 6 has just launched today. So I'm starting to see ads for that, but it's that kind of game. I think we all understand what we're talking about here. So moving on. The 2 sides of this debate. I believe there are 2 sides to this. I don't think either one is right or wrong. I will pick a side at the end, but you know, I think it's important to understand these both sides. They both have perfectly fair reasons or arguments. The first side being modern gaming sucks. I think that's pretty clear. I don't think anyone misunderstood that. Second, it doesn't. It's more nuanced. So this side takes a look at, hey, modern gaming doesn't suck. It's a lot more nuanced than just saying modern gaming sucks. Okay. So now I'm going to focus first on the modern gaming sucks, and then we'll move on to the counterpoint, which I think yeah, we'll get to it. So first off, it sucks. First point, low quality AAA games. Now this is a big sticking point to me, and I know a lot of other people, because most people play AAA games. I'm talking, let me name names. I'm talking Call of Duty, talking Battlefield. I'm talking all these sports games, NFL, MLB, FIFA, Apex, Fortnite, Minecraft, the large, the like large games, the most popular games. Generally, these are the most popular games. These are the games that have the largest budgets. We already defined it. The fact that these games lately have had a low bar for quality, i.e. the games crash a lot, the games are unplayable. Even if they are playable, they are very laggy. There's constant bugs, either crashes or just things happening in which you really can't play the game in which it was meant to be played. Those types of things extremely negatively affect the way people see modern gaming, because most people, the vast majority of people's view on modern gaming is through the lens of AAA games. And because of that, since most people see modern gaming as just AAA games as a whole, a lot of them just, they're just not coming out well. I mean, I would think, obviously Cyberpunk, when it came out, there's Monster Hunter Wilds, I would say, especially on the PC. Borderlands 4, that recently came out. That was, it had a lot of difficulties. Oh, Borderlands 3, I will say, previously I've talked about this on stream. Borderlands 3 on the Xbox Series S is literally unplayable. It will crash 3 to 4 times every hour. And so it is essentially unplayable. I mean, there's just a myriad of different large game releases in which Fallout 76 is one of them, if you remember that. Monster Hunter Wilds, I already mentioned that. I think Diablo 4, when that released, it was in a rough shape. Cyberpunk, when it launched, was in rough shape. Warhammer 40k Darktide. Now, okay, never mind. I would not consider that a triple A game, but I think my point is clear. These games have these massive budgets, and they are releasing in such poor shape that it is leading to people as a whole seeing as the whole industry, the whole space, it's putting it all on a negative light, and that leads to people saying modern gaming sucks. Let me move on to the next point. Oh, hold on. There we go. Deceptive business practices. This is another trend that has creeped up. I mean, ever since microtransactions had become a large part of the industry and the space, now I think people are a lot more accepting of them, especially in certain games. But as a whole, people don't like them. People don't like feeling like they're being got for every penny they have. Dark patterns in games, talking about Call of Duty specifically, has a lot of these where there's just certain ways they structure the user interface or certain things that they do to try to get you to buy. Fortnite would be one of them. It's to try to get you in, try to get you to spend more and more and more. We can look at gacha games. Now, I guess those aren't really too much AAA. Other things would be pre-order bonuses, locking certain content, locking certain playable characters, locking certain things behind paywalls. You can only get them if you pre-order. Another thing I would mention is game prices being increased. While this isn't really much of a deceptive practice, it is something that people strongly dislike, especially when pairing it with the first point. The fact is that a lot of these games are coming out pretty rough, and you're asking us to pay you're asking us to pay $10 to $20 more for the base game, and it's not flawless. Well, not flawless. It's the problems have not been ironed out, like really. Another thing is live service games. Something that they can do is talking about Destiny 2 specifically, straight up just taking away stuff that we paid for, taking away DLCs, and like you just can't play it. You just can't play it. You bought it, spent 40, 50, 60 bucks. Out of luck. Just out of luck. What else? I was gonna say gacha games like Genshin Impact. Now Genshin Impact, I would say it's a AAA game. And some of the other larger, like Zenless Zone Zero, those are AAA games. The amount of money they have behind them, the amount of people that's working there, and the amount of marketing campaign they are pushing, I feel like those would be defined as a AAA game. And those games are extremely predatory. I wouldn't even say deceptive. I would call them predatory. I would call them predatory games in which they for certain people, try to get them addicted to the proverbial pull, to get them to spend more money to unlock more loot boxes. I mean, I'm sorry. Essentially, they're loot box games. It's all about loot boxes and what you get in the loot box and the characters and the weapons. And it's a constant cycle. I think those are, let's move on to the next point. Stagnation. Now, this is another thing that I think maybe people don't talk about, but I certainly feel where, and we were just talking about it, Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 just released today at the time of streaming. And I'm going to be honest, I might have said this on stream, but to me, Battlefield 6, I just played the beta. Maybe it's different, fine. But I just played the beta. And to me, Battlefield 6 is essentially just Battlefield 3 with a worse main menu UI and updated gun models, updated graphics, and new maps. From what I played, it didn't really seem much different. So essentially, they are just bringing back Battlefield 3 because you can't play it officially anymore. They're just bringing back Battlefield 3, slapping a new price label on it, and saying, hey, look at this new thing we brought you. We went back to what we were good at before. And other than that, and other than a handful of quality of life changes, there's not much of a difference. We look at Call of Duty. Most people, I think, would know that every single year, a new Call of Duty comes out. And it's essentially just the same game from last year, except, with quality of life changes and a new coat of paint. And now, a lot of people are fine with that. And I'm not saying it's bad. But it does lead to this overall feeling of, two things. It leads to this overall feeling of stagnation. And it feels like there's a lack of innovation. Now, personally, I feel like this is just a problem worldwide. I live in the United States, and for me personally, it feels as if there hasn't been much innovation in much of any way over the past maybe 10 years that massively improved my quality of life or changed my quality of life in some way or change how I go about daily life. 10 years ago, feels like nothing too much has changed, other than stuff got more expensive since then. And so this feeling of stagnation, I think is a feeling that doesn't just exist in modern day gaming. I think this exists as just a whole, especially since most of these people making these videos are living in the North American continent and are more likely than not from the United States. So they feel the same thing. And they see this lack of innovation in AAA gaming. And they feel bored, I guess is the best way to put it. It's the same thing. It's just the same thing. And then they see, hey, these older games that I'm going back to play, they're fun. So they're better. And now a lot of that's probably nostalgia. Let's just say that. Let's put that out on the table. A lot of that's probably nostalgia for better times, easier times, less expensive times. less stressful times. And they're planting those feelings of nostalgia on these games as a reason for why they are better. But also I think there's a truth in that those games back then were a lot more innovative than they are now. The large AAA games back then, the companies took a lot more risks. They took a lot more risks in the development of these games, in the software and the mechanics. They tried new things, and I think that's a feeling that AAA games in the modern day, they don't really have. Now, this isn't true across the board. I will get into that, but I feel like it's important to at least say that because I think it's true. So that kind of puts together, I think, the for argument for the modern day gaming sucks. I want to move on now to the hey. So the hey, it doesn't suck. Modern gaming doesn't suck. There is a extremely wide variety of games. And I feel like when we're talking about modern day gaming, we only really, the people who talk about modern day gaming usually tend to focus solely on AAA games or the games that are the most popular. And usually the most popular games are AAA games. But I feel like that argument fully misses out the extremely insane variety of indie games or AA games, as some games are called. AA games like Warhammer 40k Darktide, which is a zombie shooter game based off the Left 4 Dead 2 game, which that game itself was, I guess you could call it a AA game. Or other games like Baldur's Gate 3, which came out 2023, which is essentially a AAA game that the vast majority of people who've played it absolutely love it. It's extremely high quality. It's extremely replayable. There's a lot there, a lot to sink your teeth into. But even if we take a step back, indie games. We were just talking about Mega Bonk. I'm going to be playing that after this. But, you look at a game like Balatro, which is essentially a poker game. You look at games like what's that one that just came out? Hollow Knight, Silksong. That's an indie game. The vast majority of people absolutely love that game. And you look at those three games I just mentioned, Baldur's Gate 3, Balatro, and Silksong. Silksong is a 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania. Balatro is a poker card game, roguelike, and Baldur's Gate 3 is a turn-based third-person RPG, like Dungeons and Dragons RPG game. So just categorizing modern day gaming in a AAA gaming only sense or only games that are popular, I think is unfair. And I think a lot of the people that have this criticism usually don't venture too far outside their comfort zone. They play whatever is popular. They play whatever their friends are playing, and that's okay. I don't think that's a problem, but I feel like those people are missing out a lot. They're missing out on a lot of great stuff. Vampire Survivors. That game is probably one of the best games I've ever played. We want to talk about Wander Stop. That's probably one of the best games I've ever played. It is easily in my top 5 list of all time. So, and that's an indie game. I mean, I feel like it's the, hey, modern day gaming sucks, I only play popular games. And I feel like this is also a criticism a lot of people levy on these people. It's like, oh, this is literally just a skill issue. You got to stop playing NBA, stop playing Call of Duty, stop playing like Fortnite, go play like go play like Hollow Knight or something. or some like super popular indie game, or Blatro. I mean, like, you know. Another point of modern day gaming doesn't suck is the interesting evolution that you see with modern day games. This is something I've noticed. I don't think people have talked about it too much, but every year, almost every single year for years now, there is a handful of indie games that come out that just revolutionize the gaming space. I was talking about Balatro. Balatro is a card game. Now, card games came into prominence. They used to be a thing, but they didn't really come into extreme prominence like they do now until the release of Slay the Spire, which completely revolutionized card games and really sent card games into a I would say mainstream. It mainstreamed how card games are played. You have a deck of cards and you play them, and like you can have roguelike there, and from it has sprung this like myriad of different genres essentially of card games that mix and take different genres, mash them together, and evolve the industry and evolve the gaming space. And it's literally seeing this happen in real time is such a fascinating thing to watch. It is so fascinating. I was talking about Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors came out in, what was it? Hold on. 2022. And Vampire Survivors was the first game in the survivor genre. It is a genre of game now. This is also another thing where the indie space and modern day games, you can see genres literally be birthed into existence, which you're just not going to get from AAA games. Just existing in the AAA gaming space or the popular gaming space kind of hides you from this like tidal wave of these just games like pushing boundaries or just trying different things, because these are smaller projects and these developers can really take a lot more risks with these. And because of that, I mean, we just get the most interesting games that, I mean, you've just never seen before. And then we look at like a game like Mega Bonk, which is a mix of Vampire Survivors and another revolutionary game, Risk of Rain. Risk of Rain 2 was a revolutionary game in the roguelike genre. It did not create the roguelike genre. It evolved it. And so a game like Mega Bonk, taking these two games and putting them together, trying to evolve the formula, evolve the thing. I mean, it's such like a wonderful experience going into a new year and thinking, man, I wonder who's going to put out the game that just like changes things. And like, not even that, but like then once that game comes out and more people make that game and iterate, eventually it moves up to the top. It moves up to the top of AAA games. You know, because, like I said, they're risk averse for, you know, a good reason, I guess. And you know, these like elements move up, and so it takes a while, but you know, I think it's really magical. And it's really magical. I'm getting excited just talking about it. Oh, hold on. Okay. So now this is a little bit of a hot take. And I put this in here just for that, honestly. I've put this in here just for that. I kind of want a little bit of a hot take. But I think, and I think I could put, I think I can point this out. I think I can make a good argument for this. Modern day gaming doesn't suck because of live service games. I don't believe modern day gaming has become worse because of live service games. I think to an extent, live service games have done well for the gaming as a hobby, because most of the live service games that still exist are going to be AAA games. Now there are some exceptions, like Helldivers 2 or shoot, what was that called? It's that mining game where you're a dwarf in space and you're mining. Deep Rock Galactic, that's it. So Deep Rock Galactic is also a live service game, but I think live service do well in the fact that live service games give something for people to always come back to. They give something for people to be a comfort game. I look at like Destiny 2. I will repeatedly go back to that game after years and years and years. It's kind of a comfort game, right? It's always a game I can come back to. It's always updating. There's always something new. There's always something new to like look forward to, and I can drop it and not play it for a while. But when I come back, there's all this new stuff. And so I'm in this space where I'm playing a game I'm comfortable with, and not only is there new stuff to play, but a lot of the time they've kind of improved the game. And so, you know, there are downsides to live service. Talking before, the deceptive business practices, the things that they do to monetize players. I think there are downsides there. And, you know, I don't think every game should be a live service game, but I think the live service games that do exist, I think they fit in a good space. Games like Fortnite, I think Fortnite is truly an excellent game. I think it's a well-built game. It feels good to play. It looks good to play. You know, it looks nice. It sounds nice. And the fact that I can, you know, just kind of go back and play it, you know, maybe once or twice a year, and there's always some new stuff. There's some new stuff to do. There's new, like, but I feel comfortable playing it. And so, you know, this is kind of a point that's, you know, could be seen either way, but I don't think it takes away. I don't think it does worse for the genre, especially since, you know, there's so many other single player games and so many other indie games that are coming out for you to play in the meantime. Whenever your game that you like coming back to, you're kind of done with the update, and you're done playing it. Okay. So let me add some extra points, some extra things that I want to mention that don't really pertain to either side. I think some of these might, but that I think are important to mention. The first one being social media. Hold on. Okay. So I think social media has really negatively impacted the way a lot of people play games. And the fact that because of how fast moving social media is, and how what's the word? you can have like a tidal wave of quote unquote content on whatever game you're playing. And because you really overindulge in that space, you become kind of consumed by the content, and your whole world becomes let's say Destiny 2. You can play Destiny 2, and then you can also watch videos on YouTube talking about Destiny 2, and you can join Discords about Destiny 2. You can join a Reddit page that's about Destiny 2, and you can watch streamers play Destiny 2. So you can literally fill 12 hours a day, the whole day, with just Destiny 2. You can make your whole existence about this game. And eventually what starts to happen is you start to become extremely cynical, because social media really incentivizes, or not, maybe not, I guess incentivizes, but really pushes negativity. Eventually these spaces can become cesspools of hatred, anger, and vitriol, because these people make their whole lives about one game. I mean, you can talk about Destiny, you can talk about Call of Duty, you can talk about Monster Hunter, where these people, all they do is just stew in this like cesspool, and they grow disillusioned with reality. They start to become warped, because their algorithms start to feed them what they want to see, which is, you know, about Destiny or whatever game. And so they're just like stuck in this cycle. Also, another point which kind of ties into social media is outrage culture. And so this is a version of the social media problem where I think a lot of people feel like how do I say this? Okay, let me say this. So outrage culture, let me define it first, or what I think it is. Outrage culture is it's not a set group of people, but it's a large group of people all being mad about whatever thing for that day, for that couple days, or for that week. So they could be mad about a game. They could be mad about a person. They could be mad about an update to a game. They could be mad about a trailer for a game. In the trailer, they're mad about it for whatever reason. What I'm saying is that this is a very fast moving culture. It's a very day to day. It's a constantly a new thing to be mad at, new thing to be mad at, new thing to be mad at. And so there's always something new to be mad at. And so when we're talking about modern gaming specifically, and the outrage culture surrounding it, there's a lot of people who made whole careers existing in this space, existing, I mean, in this cesspool of just being mad about games, being mad about trailers, being mad about the people making games, the communities around games. And because it's such a fast moving environment, you're going to be going through a lot of different outrages. And because of that, it starts to warp your sense of reality, and makes you believe that, oh, modern day gaming sucks, when in reality it just doesn't. It just doesn't. Oh, hold on, sorry, that's the conclusion. When the reality might be different. So your reality is warped in a way that's just not true. but because the false reality or the false bubble, which you think is reality, you're just in it. You're so far in it, you can't see out of it. You become just disillusioned. And this is something I'm going to add to people that are going to watch this. I think it's important to try new things. It's important to kind of step outside your comfort zone and to kind of put yourself out there, even if it's just trying a new game you might or might not like. There's a fear I know a lot of people have. I've had it. Friends of mine have had it. When I've heard people talk, they have it, where whenever you try something new, it's kind of scary. It is. I mean, look at me doing this right now, this stream. It can be a little scary sometimes. I was at work today and I was a little bit worried about it because I'm like, oh, what if I don't know what to say? Or like, am I going to do this thing right? Or am I going to run out of stuff to talk about? Am I going to talk in circles? But you know, I think it's important to kind of step outside a little bit of your comfort zone. Take a little step out. Take a little breather every once in a while. If the game you're playing you don't like, that's fine. I think take a break from it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. It'll be there when you come back. Take a week off. You can come back. Take a breather. Go do something outside. Maybe have some friends outside you can go hang out with, or I don't know, just go get some fresh air. It's important to, if you're like really in a bad space, to just take a step back and like look at your surroundings and just breathe in, breathe out, and like, okay, okay. And to try to evaluate how serious this is. And when we're talking about games, like I was saying earlier, try some new indie games. There's a lot of cheap games. I mean, I would even say go to play some older games. There are a lot of games on GOG.com that are $1, $2, $3 that are classics, absolute classics in the space that you could probably have a banger. You could have just a ton of fun with, and it really takes you out of it all. And I don't think you should try to tie yourself too much to these games. And I know that at times you're kind of sitting there not really sure what to play, and you just kind of keep going back to the same 3 or 4 games that you always play because you don't really know what else to do. And if that's the case, and you don't have to play games. You don't have to. I think it's important to also try to find other things to do outside of games. That's what I try to do. That's what I'm doing right now. I would work. I would come home, and then I would play video games for 4 to 5 hours every single night, and then just kind of go to bed. And I did that for years. And going back, I wouldn't change it. I don't think I would. I enjoyed my time. When I think about the time I spent doing it, I enjoyed it. So I don't regret it. But it's important to try new things. You got to explore. There's more out there. There's more out there than what you have right now. So please go and do that. It's better for you. If you're happier, then I'm happier for you. So, all right. Conclusion. Modern gaming doesn't suck. Wow. I bet you didn't see that coming. Plot twist. I don't think modern gaming sucks. Wow. Hot take. I know. Yeah, I have too much of a love for this. I play too much, and I've explored too many different roads in gaming. I've played so much, I've seen so much that I just can't see it as sucking. These past couple years, I've honestly truly just enjoyed every game that's come out. All the new stuff that I've played, I've just truly enjoyed it. I usually don't play whatever game is new. Like Battlefield 6 just came out today. I've already mentioned that a couple times, but I probably won't be playing it. I don't have much of an interest in it. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to keep playing Borderlands because I'm having fun with it. And it, you know, this is entertainment at the end of the day. It's supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun with it, you know, I mean, if you're sitting in a movie theater and you're not enjoying a movie, you can just leave. If you're reading a book, if you're reading a manga or a manhwa, you're not enjoying it, you just close the book. You're not liking a YouTube video, you don't like it, just click off. And so it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's about entertainment. And if you're not enjoying your time spent doing it, then it's not worth it. It's not.